Hello, everybody. Fulton, Richard Epting, Flotsam, welcome in. How are you guys doing today? I am here ready to paint a little bit more. That's what we're gonna do. Utini, welcome in. Alright. Alright. Let's jump in. Doing good. Building Chaos Space Wolves. It's the only appropriate Space Wolves, so awesome. Very cool to hear about. All right, let's just go ahead and get in on some highlights. So I need another color, and it's that color. There's some bone. This is gonna be our first highlight on here. Excuse me. Still trying to make sure my voice is all good. Yeah, just normal Space Wolves. What's up, John Lockridge? Get a small brush and some bone, and we're gonna jump in. Start painting. Indeed. It's funny, people joke about the Dark Angels being like a traitor legion and everything. And I learned not long ago that before and during the heresy, Dark Angels use these really cool creations. And I can't remember what they're called, but they are battle automatons that are men of iron. You know, like the AI tech that was like super banned in the Imperium. But they like mutate them in this weird way that they just go crazy. They just kill everything they're close to. That's kind of the way they work. And these are the, you know, quote-unquote loyalist Dark Angels, the goody two-shoes Dark Angels. As a Thousand Sons player, I see yet another legion that does whatever they want, whatever kind of crazy heretical things that, you know, is banned in the Imperium. The Emperor doesn't care. But, you know, Thousand Sons using psychic powers was the line that he drew. Not on Space Wolf mutants, warp-tainted mutants, not a heretical AI tech from the Dark Angels, or anybody else. It's Thousand Sons and their psychic powers. Anyway, how are you guys doing today? I am tired. Today, the family finally went back to school and or work. This means I have a pretty quiet day. However, I had to wake up really early, and I'm struggling. How do people wake up at 7 a.m. every morning? Don't know. I need to figure it out. Quick. Lehman Jack Russell Terrier. That's his full name, yeah. Yeah, Russ is just short for Jack Russell. My parents have a Jack Russell Terrier. They love Jack Russells. I don't know what's up with them and Jack Russells, but they got this Jack Russell from a breeder. He got a home, and they had a home for a couple weeks or whatever, And they realized, it was a puppy when they got it, but they realized, slowly realized, their Jack Russell Terrier is deaf. Completely deaf. And the breeder breeds so many dogs they had no idea. Or, apparently had no idea. They offered for my parents to exchange their dog, and they're like, well, it's our dog. We're not going to exchange it now. Now they have a deaf dog. And so they've been looking for a trainer that can train a deaf dog so it can behave better, because it's really interesting because the dog doesn't know how to be a dog. Doesn't pick up on any like cues. So this may be my last stream. The icy fingers of wintry death are coming for me. Yeah, they're specifically after you, John. That's what it is. It's supposed to be really cold this weekend where I am, so we're bracing for cold weather. 4:30, 5 a.m. Have some black coffee and a mason jar of water. Realize how country that makes me sound, but a good... Yeah. I try to start my mornings with a glass of water. It's like a 16-ounce glass of water or whatever, and I don't put ice in my water most of the time. So you gotta lubricate the old muscles and everything first thing in the morning. But yeah, that, and I do a little bit of cold brew coffee, but I try not to drink coffee super consistently, and I don't drink it because caffeine messes with me, but I kind of just get little kicks where I'm like, man, coffee sounds good, so I'll drink coffee for a little bit and then I'll stop. And then I was drinking decaf for a while, and I was like, I think the caffeine helps because I have ADHD and I don't medicate it, so caffeine is what works for that. So I kind of do that, and then yeah, it's just a cycle. Foot of snow on the ground, and we're gonna get another 6 inches. That's crazy. That is crazy. Yeah. Zen Gosu, what's up? RFND, welcome. Neither do I. I hate ice drinks. See, I like ice drinks. It's just when I drink water. My entire goal with drinking water, I don't drink water because I enjoy water. I do drink a lot of water, though. I drink water because my body needs water, and it needs a lot of water. So, to that end, when I put ice in my water, I drink it a lot slower. I can't drink a cup of water as fast. Where I can down a big cup of water in, in 20 seconds. I haven't actually timed myself, but I can do that when it doesn't have ice in it. It's not freezing cold and everything, so what I do. I'll just drink a gallon of water through the day. Just 8 cups of 16-ounce cups of water. Caffeine might be the reason my hands are all jittery when I paint. Yeah, probably got chilled out on the caffeine a little bit. I was liking my decaf. I was doing, I had instant coffee, the freeze-dried stuff, and I would mix up a little milk frother and some stevia or really kind of delicious little sweetener thing in there. It was good. Get a nice foamy coffee in the morning. It was decaf, and for some reason I stopped that. I think I need to get some. I ran out, and I was like, I'm just gonna get some ice or some cold brew, and so I got the cold brew. And now I'm thinking I need to go back to the decaf. Excuse me. What's going on, guys? Getting the highlights on these minis. And then we may start on some big trucks today. I also did finish my first minis of the year. So I painted the militia cav that I had printed out. So officially, Everything I printed in my initial batch for my my Imperialis militia army was 126 minis. Is all painted. I spent the past 2 evenings painting those cav, and it was great. So I was working in office setting. I can drink 5 cups of coffee a day. Yeah, no, I can't do that. Cannot do that. My day started. Going to play some Path of Exile and do some painting. Nice, very nice. Which can be painting Gosu. I want to jump back into my Star Wars game, but I haven't played in a little bit. I also did. I printed out my next batch of militia. Next, I guess, smaller batch of militia. So I said my goal is to paint, 30 militia infantry every month. So I got my next 30 printed. Just have to assemble them. Hey, Raja, what's up? Path of skill trees. Skill tree. Skill forest. Run down to 2 during the pandemic. That's probably smart. Guys, I had a dream. I had a dream last night that the painting son wanted to stream playing video games. And for some reason on his Switch, he was logged in like through Twitch as the painting dad. And I was like in bed asleep. Mind you, this kid goes to bed hours before I do, and his Switch is not in his room. But I go to bed, and I'm woken up to a notification on Discord that the painting dad is live. And I was like, now hold on a second. I'm not live. And you all were hanging out and watching him play Switch games on Switch, which I feel is very irresponsible of all of you. So, yeah, that's my nightmare. My son starts streaming. You guys were just chilling with him. Like, no one, like Zen was watching. He never bothered to, like, text me, like, hey, what's going on? Like, it's 12 and, like, midnight or whatever, and your son's playing video games or whatever. But yeah, felt betrayed. I feel like I should at least get like a message like, hey, yeah. All right, Utini, you have a good one, man. Yeah, I understand, John. So fighting with a wet palette, do you have any advice on actual setup? What kind of paper are you using? Forsaken Captain. I imagine you're putting water on the sponge, you're soaking the sponge, and then you put paper. I'm not sure, like, specifically how you mean you're fighting with it. You want to make sure you're getting enough water that saturates the sponge, but you don't want, like, a huge pool of water. The paper you use, I prefer, unless you have, like, a proprietary brand of wet palette paper from like Army Painter or whatever is it Redgrass has their own parchment paper, not wax paper, just parchment paper. That was a weird dream. Consistency of paint ever stay the same? What paint are you using? What brand of paint are you using? Forsaken Captain. You may be thinning your paint too much, or maybe not enough before you put it on the palette, and your wet palette may just be oversaturated or undersaturated. Paper that came with the palette, it's like parchment paper. What brand of palette are you using? The next questions are all actually necessary questions. I'm not just like stalling for time or something. Okay, using GW paints and using the Army Painter wet palette. All right, so their paper is good. So your paper is not the issue. Assuming it's on YouTube. Yeah. No, it's on YouTube. Chatting with Forsaken Captain on YouTube. So, is your paint drying out? Is it becoming thick, or is it becoming too thin? Paper that comes with wet palettes don't really allow my paints to beat up for glazing. Okay. Give me one sec. Sure. See, I use like an art brand wet palette. The paper that comes in this wet palette, not good, so I just use like kitchen parchment paper, like non-wax baking paper. Oh man, I woke up too early, guys. It was too early. Ugh. Starting to fray, Flotsam. Do you have sable brushes, or are they synthetic? Because yes, there are ways to take care of your brushes to prevent them from fraying. Didn't sleep well either. Yeah. I'll finish this color and I'll show off my some of my militia cap. Synthetics. So with synthetics, there's only so much you can do. Unfortunately, with synthetics, it's basically like you got to be careful when you paint. You don't want paint to get in the ferrule and gunk it up. You can try to clean it, but cleaners don't work as well on synthetics. You might just need to buy more like new synthetics. I think that might just be what you got to do. Deal with the frayed brushes, or get new ones. There is a limit to how much you can treat synthetic brushes. Evaporating, or just saturating the paper on the palette and isn't going into my brush. It's saturating the paper. That's trippy. I don't know. Maybe it is something with the paper then. If it's drying up, or getting too watery, I would say it's your water level has an issue, Forsaken Captain. If the paper is actually soaking up the paint, like the pigment, that's a big no-no. Like, that is against everything a wet palette should be doing. So maybe try different paper. Sampler wet palette, the 2.0. Something bigger that seals better than my current ones. Yeah, I don't know. I've not used the Army Painter wet palette specifically. Try different paper, but also you probably should still be thinning your GW paints when you put it on your wet palette. Your wet palette, it'll keep the paints. The intended purpose of the wet palette is to keep your paint saturated longer, so you can work with it over a longer period of time and it doesn't dry out while you're working. The wet palette won't necessarily thin your paints for you. So you should be focused on thinning your paints and getting them to a consistency that you are happy to work with. And then thinking of the wet palette as just a way to keep them that consistency longer. Or save up for sable brushes in the long run. It might be. And you know what, Flotsam? You don't need a lot of sable brushes. You need like 1 or 2 sable brushes. That's all you need. Get a number 2 and like a number 0 in a brand you can find, and it's like, you might spend $20-$25 on 2 nice brushes, and then you're kind of set. And then you want to get some brush soap, and you keep them clean and conditioned like you would any hair that you want to keep clean. You love your synthetics. All right. No, they don't last long. Yeah, that's right. What's up, Chaos and Lid? Do I have time to thin it because it evaporates quick? Yeah, send some pictures. I'm curious what your issue is, because if it's evaporating too quick, then I feel like you need to saturate your wet palette more. Yeah, if you're using a wet palette, your paint should not be drying out on the wet palette. Unless you're taking like 6 hours to paint a color and you're keeping the wet palette open the whole time. A bunch of Rosemary and Company brushes and a bunch of Michaels Brandon ones. Yeah, Rosemary and Company brushes are pretty nice. They sell a set. They used to sell a set. I own this set. It was like my first like quote unquote nice brush set. It was called like the Workbench Warrior or something, I think. It was like 6 or 7 brushes made for, you know, like painting miniatures and that kind of thing. They were all right. I think the premier brand, in my opinion, is your Winsor Newton Series 7s. The miniatures, not the miniature rounds, just the rounds. The miniature rounds are tiny, tiny brushes. They're made for painting miniature portraits, not for painting miniatures. There's a very big difference. But yeah, those are expensive though. They're not as expensive as like Artis Opus brushes, which I think are just way overpriced. They always work good for basing work or doing dirty jobs after they're done. Yeah. Don't just toss out your synthetics, right, or your brushes when they get a little old or a little ratty. Definitely don't just throw those away, because yeah, there's life in them, even if they're not painting the detail work for you. Yeah, basing, dry brushing, washes, all that stuff. Right now, as Thousand Suns are getting their Castellax and Automaton 40k, how corrupted do you think they'll be? I think they're going to look a lot different. Yeah. Yeah, I fully believe that Thousand Suns are getting a robot, psychic robot. I think it'll look a lot different than the 30k version. I hope they don't, because I would love to get some plastic automatons. That'd be great. Number 2 and a 0. I have a 0, 1, 2, and a bigger one like a 5. Got for $25. Yeah. yeah, sables are going to be a little more expensive, Flotsam. But a sable would last you years, though, if you take care of it. Get a sable and some brush soap. I really like the Monument stuff, the Gentastics Drunken Brush Goop. It is made to clean like the paint that we use, which is nice. It's just a bar of soap in there. It's made for brushes and cleaning the acrylics. This one smells okay. The Masters brush cleaner smells better, but I think this Pro Acryl stuff is just better anyway, because, you know, small US based company that we're supporting that's in our hobby and everything, and they say it's made specifically for what we do. So, and Jason, the guy in charge over at Monument, doesn't give me a reason to doubt. He talks about stuff that has to do with paint, so I try the 8408s. Yeah, I've never used that brand. Best Sables Winsor Newton. Number 1 round. Oh my god. Yeah. The Winsor Newtons, like the Series 7s brushes, are just beyond the other brands. Just pricey. Good old sanctions. Siberian weasels. Welcome back, Gosu. I think that is all for the bone on these 2 minis. Give me just a second, guys. Hey, welcome in, Frank. You're in SoCal. Yeah, you guys have crazy winds and stuff going on. I saw that. That's insane. Hope you're doing all right. Yeah, Monument Hobbies has brushes. Monument Hobbies brushes are okay. The big difference between Monument and like Winsor Newton or even like the Foxbite brushes that I really enjoy, the Monument ones, like the belly on the brushes are really small. There's like less actual like sable fur in the brush, and I like to have like a larger belly in the brush. It like holds more paint. It feels better to me to paint with a brush that has a larger belly. So that's definitely a personal preference thing, but that is my personal preference. We're gonna get this face. Better in life than playing monster trucks with your 2-year-old son. I don't think they're. Yeah. My son got a punching bag for Christmas from an aunt and uncle, and it is an inflatable punching bag, but it's like a big punching bag. And he has been going ham on that punching bag. It's all he wanted to do yesterday, was just like fight his punching bag. So he's complaining he's all sore this morning. That's fine. You get that energy out. We're kind of inside a lot with the weather and everything, so. August Monster Truck Series is going to be in Charleston, West Virginia. I'm taking my son. Yeah. Okay, a little bit on their face. I'll put this bone back. We're gonna get some ivory. Oh, I gotta show you guys. Show you guys some of my calf here. Simple. And these minis need varnish, so there's some like glossy look on them, but this is my simple 2 evening cavalry that I painted. It's I guess you'd call it a slap chop paint job. But got these guys, there's another one. Just a simple thing. We got there's some different color horses in here too. Sergeant. A couple print lines on the horses and stuff, but I don't mind. Simple cab. I have bases for another 30 of these, so I might end up doing that. We have one that's painted different. Yeah, here's a different painted horse. I believe every day's a good day when you paint. Hey. I believe it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. Welcome in, Millie Paints. How are you doing? Thank you so much for the raid. Excuse me. Welcome in. You know,
first of all, let me take just a moment to
100% serious.
Back into your home.
I was thinking about you guys. I was painting yesterday, and I was thinking about you guys. I was wondering if you guys had finished painting your all the Legionnaires, because I know it was the gentleman in the stream who was, I can't remember names. I couldn't remember your stream name either. I was like, who was the streamer? It was Millie Paints. I was wondering if they if you guys had finished painting or testing out all the different color schemes for the different legions, what your determination was. And who is this? Captain One-Eyed Jack, welcome in. And British Mark, welcome. Thank you for the follows, guys. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I am doing all right. I'm getting over a cold, and I have not been able to talk super well the past week or so, so I am just getting back into... This is my second stream of the year at this point, so... It's your husband. That's right. That's right. I couldn't remember if it was boyfriend or husband. I just wanted to... I didn't want to, like mislabel. Nowhere near done. Okay. Next couple months. All right. All right. Well, I will be keeping an eye and ear out. Curious how it's gonna go. That's awesome. How was your stream? Yeah, thank you for the compliments, though, guys. Lishcav, super easy. 126 militia down at this point, so not bad for a couple weeks painting. Some highlights with this ivory, this armor. Really good. So you're painting Votann, yeah, yep. Excuse me. This is the same commission. I think I was assembling Votann last time you jumped in, and so yeah, same commission. Just finally getting around to painting them. I have the two land fortresses. I will hopefully start today if I have time. There you go. Just one Sam. Yeah. Glad you like Votann.
First of all, let me take just a
thanks
moment
for the follow.
to thank you for allowing me back.
Like the color scheme? Well, nice. Yeah. I the gentleman who commissioned me to paint these, we talked about the color scheme a bit, and they had an idea, and we kind of took the idea and we went with it, and it's this guy's got a lot of orange, he's got some red, and then we have another one here. I tried to separate them out a little bit. So some different colors on them, but yeah, it ends up being a bit of like a... We were trying to think about like retro space, like astronaut kind of feel to them. It's just something a little different. Berserks. First one's gonna have some totally intentional battle damage. Yeah, those Berserk minis are kind of annoying to put together. I've put enough of them together, I feel. It always seems like those little tubes that connect to their back are the most annoying thing. That's sure what you normally see. Yeah. I'm not a huge fan personally of the aesthetic of Votann. I do really like the aesthetic of the Necromunda, like squats and prospectors and stuff. But yeah, painting this color scheme is definitely better than, in my opinion, than like the classic Votann. Like this, or like a black, or I feel like an olive green type, like more natural colors, I think work better with them. But they're still kind of separate tight little cape. Yeah, yep. That's what happens, man. Yeah, those Votann minis are really annoying. The Berserks. I'm just trying to finish up these minis today and get a start on the land fortresses. Kind of the goal. Got all the base colors and washes yesterday. Do these highlights today. Vampire Lords, Tomb Guardians, and Necrons fan. Yeah, hey, I have a Old World Vampire Counts army. I am a huge, like, classic Vampire Counts Undead Necromancer fan. And I do have a Necron army, so I get it. I've played a whopping 3 games with my Vampire Counts, but I'm hoping to get more games in this year. Yeah, I had a Vampire Counts army way back in the day. I started maybe in 6th edition Warhammer Fantasy. I ended up selling it years ago. And then, you know, cue the serious regret. And then, you know, Old World is announced. And so I've been collecting my army based on the Age of Sigmar minis. It's really cool. I got about 3,000, 3,500 points painted. I painted last year. Great. Old World is a great nostalgia bomb. Excuse me. To have Necrons. It's always nice when someone thought you had to beat you, play the Resurrection Orb, Necrons just stand up. Yeah. The great feels bad. Yeah. It's funny anymore too. Like I don't play tons of 40k, but I've played a good amount of 10th edition, and the Resurrection stuff isn't amazing anymore. It's not as like oppressive as I feel like it used to be in older editions, but it's always like it feels bad. Like your opponent always feels terrible when it happens to them. And let's see, we got that? Okay. We're about done with this. It's never like a fun moment when your opponent kills, you know, 15 out of the 20 models in the squad and 10 of them get back up. We're gonna play Relive. Ah, that's too bad. Like hanging out with all of us weirdos on Twitch, huh? I mean, perfectly fine people on Twitch. No one weird on Twitch. Runs were launched. They were so OP. Yeah. I may have... My buddy played them back in like 3rd, 4th edition. And they first, like, their first codex and everything. Oh, they were so frustrating to play against. So frustrating. But what the Necrons couldn't beat was sheer dumb luck. Like, you know, 4th edition, a strength 8 Seeker missile firing into a monolith, getting the 6 to pin it and getting the 6 to blow it up. Like, you know, nothing the Necron player could do against that with their 200 plus point monolith. People wouldn't play if you had Necrons. That's funny. Remember when the monolith came out? Yeah, you're Raptor, welcome. Good afternoon to you. Let's see, I got a text. Dang. My nephew's going up to the store this afternoon to play some 40k. I don't think I'm going to be able to go. We miss playing the tabletop game and PC games. PC games are good, but not the same. Yeah, I agree. Even stuff like Tabletop Simulator, it's nice for like a cheap substitute, right? But not the same as putting your own minis on the table and rolling your own dice and Yeah, just not quite the same. How's this new camera setting different? It's overhead. I did more overhead. I moved the camera. That's about it, I guess. I think we got that guy with his highlights. It was cool seeing people paint job, trading tips. Yeah. The hobby aspect of like in-person gaming. Yeah, it's a great feeling going to a store with a fully painted army and people are like, wow, it looks great. It's a good... Yeah, I do have to be a bit more mindful. Yeah, you're right. I'm learning new camera angle here. Just trying to find something that works. I like this because my camera is really out of the way. It's not like in my space. Yeah, it is a big plus. Yeah, where the camera was last time, I had to kind of lean to get out of its way. Thanks. I had to lean to stay on target to keep myself out of the camera angle. It was pretty difficult. What I would like is a position where I can paint and not have to think about how I'm painting. At least as much. The regime is awesome. Yeah. It is a very really appreciated reminder if I'm off camera, out of focus or something. Also, I don't know if you guys heard, but Gold Leader passed away last week. The guy that played Gold Leader in the Y-Wing. Can't remember his character's name. I remember Dutch Vander, but Dutch Vander wasn't Gold Leader. Dutch Vander was another Y-Wing pilot. You know, I don't think I mentioned something that I feel like needs mentioned about the Star Wars show that's currently about Skeleton Crew. Again, not spoilers. I do think the show is amazing. I feel like I can't emphasize that enough, just how good and enjoyable that show has been. But I think it's Jaleel White is an actor, and Jaleel White is in Skeleton Crew. He has like an actual role in the show. If you don't know who Jaleel White is, you probably don't recognize that name. Jaleel White played a character in an old sitcom, an 80s sitcom. I think it was called Family Matters. And he played a character named Steve Urkel. You guys know who Steve Urkel is. That was Jaleel White. And yeah, Jaleel White is in... he's in Star Wars. I saw him and I was like, wait a second. That's not... There's no way that's Urkel. Yeah, he's the first mate. Yeah, yep. He plays a pirate. Did I do that? Yeah, that's yeah, it's Jaleel White. He's in Star Wars, guys. Who, by the way, seems like a really cool guy, honestly. But another fun fact: he was the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog for a while. Really, I didn't know that. That's incredible. It was like, oh, what's the actor's name that played Jar Jar? How he has a role in The Mandalorian. He plays a Jedi in a flashback scene, like the Order 66 flashback, who gets Grogu off Coruscant. Ahmed Best, that's his name. Yeah, thanks, Frank. Your way around these highlights. I'm currently trying an 18-hour print. Printing an artillery piece. See if it works. Yeah, I finished printing the next 30 militia, and I printed four more sentinels. The sentinels print on two. It's just two print beds worth of prints, and it takes like, I don't know, 8 hours worth of printing. So, like, yeah, I can do this real quick. So I got another 4 sentinels that need assembled. I'm gonna give these ones multi-meltas though. Make them little heavy hitters. All right. Hey boss, sorry we got. Yeah, no problem, Lord of Trek. How you doing, man? Oh, there's all the emotes. Some more skin colors here. Way too bright. Down a little bit. In the hospital. Okay. All right. Yeah, yeah. Hope you're doing better. Wasn't anything too serious. Gallbladder stuff. Ugh. Yeah, it sucks. I have a friend who had their gallbladder removed, and it's just like, well, a friend and a family member, and it always seems like a pretty situation after you get it removed. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things, like, if it gets infected, right? Like, that's all they do for it. You just get it out. Gallstones. Ugh. A lot more garlic. As much a cold in 12 years. Yeah, see, I don't get sick often. Just when I get sick, it, like, puts me down a lot more. Or at least it does enough to prevent me from doing what, I should be doing during a normal workday, which is talking. Yeah, we don't eat much garlic in my house anyway, though, because my wife is allergic to garlic, so. But even before she had her garlic allergy and we were eating tons of garlic, she was still getting sick all the time. So. What, Frank? Oh, you're in like and like near LA or something, or like in Southern California with all the fires and stuff. Oh, that sucks. Sick for a couple days and I'm good. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that, Frank. Hopefully she doesn't stay with you. For my mother-in-law, I know we'd put her up somewhere, not in our house. Yeah, yeah. I hope it's all okay, man. I hope there's quick resolution to stuff, because that's wild. Allergic to garlic. Yeah, she has other terrible allergies too, but the garlic one is annoying. Oh, Korean food is so good. I went with Zindraw actually this past weekend to a Korean barbecue place, like actual Korean barbecue. It was pretty insane. I love spicy food, so. All right. So what we're doing? A little bit of our burnt orange out. We're gonna mix in some regular orange into it. Just burnt orange in that mix. Picked up jewelry, picks documents. I think that's all what she owns now. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, Lord, check. No, the inner circle looks great. Whole semester abroad in Korea. He loves the culture and food. Yeah, be the dream if you like the food. No, it looks really good, man. Those minis are cool. I haven't been able to see those minis in person. Looks like it'd be fun to paint. They're nice too. Okay, yeah. as much to me, but that's good to know. They are nice minis? Good, good. You said those are the first things you've gotten to paint, right? At least in a while. My nephew got into 40K over Christmas. Around like Thanksgiving, Christmas, and everything, so he got a whole bunch of minis for Christmas. He's 20. But, you know, whole family got him a bunch of minis and everything to get him started, and so he spent his whole winter break from college, painted his whole army, everything he has. But he said he's going to the local store this evening, and he's going to play some 40K with some strangers. Alright, man, good luck. That's right, we painted a bunch of Tyranids. It's sort of a outline. That's all the orange on these guys, so let's get a little brighter orange. Oh, Orden Deathwing Terminator's nice. And Dreadnought. Well, what kind of Dreadnought are you gonna get next? Finish your army so I can play 2K, yeah. That's the ultimate goal, right? Attention to detail is inspiring. What is my I don't even know, man. I don't even know. I appreciate the kind words, though. From the one-eyed captain. It's the depth perception. That's what helps me keep the attention to detail. Having both eyes. Okay, just a little extra highlight there with some pure orange. For parts of this. You change your name on there, yeah. I'm not poking fun. You know, I'm just stating. I used to play mini games with a guy that I guess he didn't have one eye, but he wore an eye patch. And I think it's because he was diabetic. Would mess with his eyes a lot. Yeah, I see this guy all the time at tournaments. He have an eye patch, and I ended up playing a game against him one time, and I was like, "Yeah, I recognize you." He's like, "Yeah, it's because the eye patch isn't." I was like, "Dang it!" It's like, no, it's the beard that you have. Like, it's very, very unique beard. I've seen that beard in lots of places. It only belongs to you. See, eye patches everywhere. Like, eye patches are a dime a dozen, you know, but your beard is unique. Just kill me now. That's pretty much how that went. Okay, I'll be back in just a second. Oh man, alright. Mucus is getting to me. Yeah, eye patch. What eye patch? That's how I felt. My whole goal while I had this cold was to take the medicine I was prescribed and told to take so this thing doesn't turn into a sinus infection. Now I'm at like, I feel like I'm past the cold, but I'm getting more mucus. I feel like that's a sign of a sinus infection, and I'm not too happy about it. Yeah, Rage, I think you're right. Yeah, I think the guy was pulling my leg, right? Like, you just live into... Yeah, you gotta wear an eye patch in public, you might as well have some fun with it, right? So... Often clears up on its own, yeah. Poor painting wife was sick all of December, so... He's finally feeling better and she has to go back to school. Wanted to paint a bit when I got home. Too tired after a day in the office. That sucks. Yeah, sorry to hear that. Maybe later. I don't know. I get it, though. I get it. I'm like that often. Spent my day painting other people's minis. I'm like, you know what? Tonight, I'm really looking forward to just sitting down, turn on a stream or some YouTube, and paint my own stuff. And by the time I get, like, downstairs and the kids in bed and everything, and I'm like, I don't want to. I just want to be a vegetable. Hey, PNG, not JPEG. Welcome. Been lurking since the Millie raid. Well, welcome in. Thanks for joining. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I appreciate you coming on the raid and saying hi. Extra special. Maybe tomorrow. Yeah. What were you painting? You're a Raptor. What kind of minis you working on? Alright, I think that's it for the red. Let's get our let's do some black. Yeah. I'm gonna highlight this black. We're gonna highlight it with, where's my color here? Not coal black. We're gonna highlight it with some dark neutral gray. That's our color right here. 15 more Cadians. Nice. Okay. We gotta talk about something here in a minute, but related to Cadians. Need to get where I'm okay with small progress. Right now I can't convince myself to paintless. Yeah, that's a big thing, Raja. I understand that. PNG, I absolutely mainly use Pro Acryl. Yeah, I have all their paints, and it's probably about 80 to 90% of the paint I use on my minis are Pro Acryl. So normally, if I can't make a color work with the Pro Acryl, I'll mix it and make it work. That's what I do a lot of the time. I'll keep you okay. Got a couple colors we're keeping out. Okay, so getting ready for the Krieg. Yeah, soon. Did you pre-order the set? You're a Raptor. You gonna get the new set? Did we talk about this already? I can't remember if we talked about it. Incel Cadians. Okay, autistic screaming Kriegsman. All right. The old Krieg lore was really good, and before they were such a meme. You know, they were still just people. It's just the way they conducted warfare was different, but it was still, you'd still have like acts of heroism and all these interesting things the Kriegers would do. It wasn't just shovels and like trying to die. First bottle of heavy titanium white. I feel like the coverage, like 5 paints on a wish list. I don't want to fall down the slippery slope buying slip. Yeah. Buy what you need. Pro Acryl does have on their website a deal that if you buy 8 colors individually, they give you the price of like you're buying a set. So you get a discount on top of any discount for like creator codes and stuff that you use, which I have one if you need a 5% discount on your paint order. But yeah, you get the discount as ordering a set if you just find 8 paints to order. Good deal. 2 weeks to paint these, maybe start with the tank as well, yeah. So, sold, yeah, there you go. Exclamation point, PA, it's exclamation point PA. There's an extra 5% there, but don't have to use it. You know, if you got a local store that sells it, or you got another creator you want to do something with, that's fine. I'm not making my living off of Pro Acrylic commissions, guys. It's always nice to have a couple extra dollars a month, but I don't want to take money out of brick and mortar store or someone who's maybe relying on it more. So we gotta talk about the new Astra Militarum Codex, Imperial Guard. I'm gonna call them Imperial Guard. They're removing the generic command squad, the generic infantry squad, and the generic heavy weapons teams. Heavy weapons squads. I think it's super lame. I have many issues with it, and I feel like most guard players will feel pretty similar. So I was reading in it was like the Warhammer competitive subreddit, and everybody's like, yeah, it's a great change, like, look, cool, oh, you can have different rules for your infantry, and you know, this is great, you know, they're reducing bloat and all this stuff. And I was like, you can tell none of these people play Imperial Guard, or like actual Guard players. You know, they might buy Guard when they're like, yeah, Guard are really good, so I'm going to play Guard. But you can tell they're not like I like actual Imperial Guard fans. Well, if there are leaks, you better post them. I need to see some leaks, dude. You better post them in the proper channel, and I'm going to be reading leaks. But the thing that makes Imperial Guard an appealing faction is the fact that the Imperial Guard are like your everyday people. They're just people. And you can make them what you want. And what GW is doing, and they have done this over the past couple of days, they do this with a lot of armies. This is a common theme with 10th edition, but the Imperial Guard got the short end of the stick this edition. They're shoehorning the Imperial Guard players into playing specific regiments. And I feel like if any of us have met people that have played Imperial Guard or like, you know, really into the Guard, you know that's just not how Guard players operate. Guard players are like the crusty old men that want to play like a historical World War II game, but there's no one around them playing, so they play the Guard because they're the most like realistic army, right? So GW, they take away the generic squad, and this isn't even getting to the gameplay aspect, which I'll get into in a minute, but they take away the generic squad, and they tell people, well, if you want to play Mordians, just play with them with the Krieg rules. That's cool. I can't think of one like Guard player that I know, like actual Guard player, that'd be like, yeah, that's cool. Mordians are just like the Krieg, so let's use the Krieg rules. Like, there's probably heads exploding right now, like just thinking of that prospect. Like that is not like Warhammer as I see it. Like, Warhammer is making your army your thing, and, you know, like putting your narrative to it. And when you take out the ability to do that, so, alright, I'm sure a lot of people here have a Space Marine army. Tell me how you would feel if someone, say, took, let's use Dark Angels as an example, alright? They remove the Dark Angels supplement, and they said, hey, don't worry, you can use all your Dark Angels units as these Space Marine units. Just pretend they're Blood Angels. It's the same thing. You know, like, yeah, just imagine your Dark Angels, like, you know, your Inner Circle companions are just Sanguinary Guard. Like, that's cool. You know, Azrael is just, he's just Dante. Like, it's the same thing, you know. That's what they're doing with this. And that's not even like the gameplay aspect that's really messed up about this whole thing. That is just the creative, like, imagination aspect that GW just, like, destroyed. Instead of making a generic infantry squad and saying, here's some different options, you can give your units these different options, but, you know, look, you have to buy the set to have that. No, they went the opposite way, where they made it more complicated and like less creative, where they're like, yeah, there's Catechins, Kriegs, and Cadians. Like, that's all there is. And, you know, you need to fit your regiment into this army. So what I have seen is a lot of people in the Horus Heresy Discord jumping into the Imperialis Militia section, realizing that Imperialis Militia play a lot like old school Imperial Guard, with, you know, the creative aspects that go with that, and, you know, all the customization that comes with it and everything. Let me take
just a moment to thank you for
Hey, Marcus80, thank you for the follow. With their 50 Primaris Intercessors. Yeah, exactly, Lord of Trek. That's how Guard players feel right now. Where they say, hey, here's your cool, like, important thing. Now, gameplay aspect-wise, the Imperial Guard, the infantry squad, the generic infantry squad, did something that no other of the infantry squads do. and that is the infantry squad had a built-in heavy weapons team. You would get a special weapon and a heavy weapon. So, the Krieg squad, the Cadian squad, and the Catchin squad don't have a heavy weapons team. The problem with that is when people buy that generic weapons squad, or they build their infantry squads, you can't just one-to-one take your generic infantry and say, okay, they're Cadians now. Because now you have 8 infantry and a heavy weapon team on a 60 mil base. And you can't play a game of 40k with a squad of 8 infantry and a 60 mil base. You can't do that. So, yes, you can take your heavy weapons teams, you can put them in a squad, and then you could take the leftover infantry and put them... Like, that's a whole thing. And, like, I don't think that should be a thing. Because, again, that's not like how the Guard are equipped. Or like most of the Guard regiments. And that invalidates a lot of people's army. Could you imagine someone painting squad markings on their units, on all their different squads? And now they're just all invalidated. Everything is invalidated from that person's army. Like with how they run their army. Shameful, honestly. Like I am upset. And I remember I mentioned, and people are like, no, it's a good thing. Like, there is nothing good about this. Absolutely nothing good about this change from a consumer and hobbyist standpoint. Nothing good. Oh, okay, there's detachment rules. Well, let's see. Let's see the detachment rules. Siege regiment, artillery support. Start of the battle round, select one of the following types. So every battle round. 5+ units shaken. Okay. Slow down units. What is this one? A battlefield. Oh, it has... Okay, 3 units. Alright. Siege regiment looks okay. Very Krieg, isn't it? Alright, I'll read through those. That's interesting. There's potential. Thank you for sharing that, though, you're a Raptor. Thank you. What about Space Marine bikes and speeders? The Archangels hyped a Raven Wing generic. Yeah. PNG, I think GW will be having more bikes and stuff come out. And like Assault Terminators and everything in the new scale. I think it's just a matter of waiting, but yeah, it's kind of annoying. Laughs in Orc Boys box, yeah. No, like this whole like 9th, 10th edition has been pretty ugly changes from a hobby standpoint, which I think is a big reason why I have focused so much on the Heresy. Because it's the opposite. Especially when you're dealing with like the Imperialis militia, because they are just like what they don't have platoons. There's no platoon system, which is disappointing. If they had platoons, like they'd be the perfect army. But yeah, the militia is a great kind of stand-in for what 40k guards should be. Gonna do a whole lot on that bronze. I can see the creeping barrage rule being good. You're a Raptor. For that one, I didn't read the stratagems yet, but the other two don't seem too good because they're limited to the units you affect. I think the big downside to that one, though, to that rule, that off-board artillery rule, is that's only units outside of 12 inches of your army. So if they get close enough, then they just ignore the rule. And that's a big problem because you have to be moving up to capture objectives. So you can only do so much for so many turns, and it's like turn one, like the enemy can start to ignore it. So that, I think, is the big issue with that, the off map artillery. All right, a couple more little colors here. Not a lot to do on these guys. We'll end up painting their bases too, but I think we might get started on the yeah. I think it would be very Krieg if you could target units within 12 inches too. Interesting modeling of craters, yeah. Did you keep the craters on the board? It'd be cool if there's actually like you put something down or something, but I'll buy the new Krieg box just because. Yeah, it's a nice box. Yeah. I just printed and painted some Cav. It's one of my my writers. I painted it in 2 evenings, 10 of these guys over the course of 2 evenings. It's about 2, maybe 2.5 hours to paint the 10 minis here, and paint their bases and stuff. I have to varnish them, so yeah. Part of my giant militia army that could eventually be used as a guard army. Excuse me. Cosmos from 1-9. Now, Assault 9th tactical troops could have moved 3 for 2. Oh, interesting. Okay. Huh. Okay, Troy. What's going on, by the way? Get me into guard. The new artillery detachment is a former forward observer's dream. Yeah. Like I said, I'll take a closer look at it. Curious to see what's going on with it, but be able to paint faster. Like, yeah. So the last week of 2024, I painted 116 minis. But I also timed myself, and I was like trying to paint really quick, and they're really like basic paint job, very much like a slap chop, a bare bones kind of style, but they're done. I'm going to use them for 30k, and I might port them over to 40k eventually. Right, these dudes are basically done. Like, they're relatively simple, but they got their highlights on them. Need to get their bases, but we can do that. We can do that later. I want to things. Put some paint back first. Yeah, this is one of my infantry. Did 112 of these at the same time. I just printed 30 more, so I got 30 more dudes I'm going to paint before the end of the month. I'm just going to keep painting them in batches of 30. Excuse me. Yeah, Frank, I mean, I do this for a living, so, you know, my whole idea of painting is like how fast and how fast can I get it done, and how good can I get it done for how fast I'm painting it. Yeah, a little bit of Talon. Yeah, they're actually made to be like prospering, so they got a little bit of red. It's like an accent on their shoulder. So they're like the prospering militia. So they're going to be allied with my my 1,000 Sons as the defenders of Prospero. So, I got some artillery painting or printing right now. It's like an 18-hour print. So we'll see tomorrow morning how it looks. But yeah. Painted those cav. I got some sentinels. I just printed 30 more infantry. So I'll have 8 sentinels. They're like old school sentinels too. They're really cool. So we got different weapons. Here's my plan with these minis, guys. Base coated in silver. I figure this whole like outer shell on this mini, all over this mini, is going to be the same bone color on these guys. Okay. But I base coated it in silver because I learned in painting these vehicles it is way easier to paint the outer shell of the vehicle than to paint all of these inner parts while avoiding mistakes on the outer shell. So, with that said, I base coated silver, and I'm going to start base coating other colors. And we're going to do most of the other colors. We're going to do black. There's going to be some black for some different little bars, these little like on the things on like the roll cage or whatever. The tires. We're gonna paint some the guns. Some other colors like that, some bronzes maybe. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna wash this whole mini, and I have 2 of them. You know, so there's 2 of these guys. We're gonna wash the whole mini, and then we're going. I'm gonna. Well, it's already. This was base coated with an airbrush. This was Vallejo metallic silver through an airbrush. Yeah. Yep. It'll end up looking a lot more bone colored, but we gotta do this first. So I'm gonna wash it all. Then we're gonna paint the bone color. It's going to take time. Have I mentioned how tired I am today? This is ridiculous. But yeah, it's gonna take time. But I figure it out as we go. I think for black, it's gonna be black. The windshield brackets are gonna be black. The little pieces in the middle of these, like the roll cage. Yeah, I learned it from the bikes. Yeah, the bikes they were the hard lesson. All these roll cages, the tires are going to be black. I think that might be it for the black. Yes, like all these annoying parts. So like the suspension in here. You know how hard the suspension would be to paint? Look at the suspension back there. Can you imagine how difficult that would be to paint? No. I say no. I do the gun casing black. I think black's gonna be your first color though. We bought it with black. Excuse me. Big boys though. What's a good vehicle for Space Marine Army? Repulsor, Executioner, or Gladiator Lancers, or Predator Annihilators. 3 really good vehicles. Ready to make a guide video about people getting quality minis on the table quickly? Yeah, maybe one of these days. Oh, well, touch up Crimson Dynamo's base, and he's done. Nice. Yes, we do. Yeah, we do, Zen. How do you want to go about that? You want to message a little bit? I don't know, you want to send me a message and tell me some things you want, or I can, I could always make like a simple list and send it to you. You can give critiques. I don't want to be the one deciding what you're going to make your army. To me, that feels bad. Like I don't want to be the one saying like, yeah, you need this and you need this. So, you know, I'm happy to give as many suggestions or lean into terror assault. Okay. Yeah. A good way, Zen. No, I'm talking to Zendral. It's about a 30k army. a good idea might be to look at battle reports on YouTube to see what people are taking. Most people that play Heresy don't take like super tough like competitive lists. And I know most people that play Night Lords will play the Terror Assault. But even if you just want to like copy someone's list or something. Okay. Yeah, and I think Ghost is a really good idea. Yeah, yeah. Go through the GW website. Let's see. Yeah, you can do Trader Space Marines. Go to Night Lords. Just scroll down through there and see if there's any particular miniatures that you like. If there's a tank you like, if there's an infantry squad or a weapon type that you like. I know you want your Daredeo. Daredeo works really well in Terror Assault anyway. So, a character you like, you know, if you like, you know, I really like Breachers, or you know, I want I don't know, a Moritat or something. Go through and pick out a couple minis you like. That's a great way to do it. Yeah, like if you really like Saber tanks, I actually have STLs for Saber tanks. They're like mini Sakaran battle tanks, and they just put a big gun on the front of them. But they're like little tiny fast tanks. Contemptor, yeah. Alright, we're gonna start with the tires. Oh, I hate painting tires, guys. I hate it so much. Oh, it hurts. Yeah, general rule with a Night Lord or with a Heresy army too is like, if there's something you really like, you can fit it in any list, unless that said like Rite of War specifically forbids the unit. But you know, you really want a big, you know, a big shooty tank, you can fit it. You have 3,000 points to work with, and tanks are around, you know, 100 to 200 points. Like you're going to be able to make something work. You know, and you don't have to build your whole list around the one thing, but everything has at least a little bit of use. So I would not discourage any particular unit that you want, as long as we have access to it. Mini. Yeah, Contemptors are just amazing overall, though. Okay, points okay to go over the points. Normally, Lord of Trek, it is not okay to go over the points. Yeah, the rule is 2,000, so people are generally the idea is if you're under by 40 points, that's that. If you're over by 5 points, like that's not okay. Like 2,000, you know, the point limit is the point limit. So that's generally how people. Yeah, no, not even by 5. Yeah. I think the idea is like if you're going over by 5 points, what's to stop people from, you know, just saying I'm going to go over by 10 and then 15, and yeah. The unfortunate thing about 10th edition Lord of Trek is that you can't buy war gear for your units. So especially big expensive armies like Space Marines, it's a lot more difficult to hit that 2,000 point target. You want to use them 30k and 40k. Okay, alright. We can try and make that work. Assault Marines, Tactical Marines. Special Weapons Squad will probably be good. Yeah, you can talk. Yeah, look at like enhancements and stuff. Yeah, But 40K doesn't have those. Doesn't have that stuff. I had to backtrack and come with a new solution. We're gonna get the inside of the tires here in a few minutes. Try to get the basic and simple stuff. What's a terror squad? A terror squad, I think, is like a veteran tactical marine squad. I think that's what a terror squad is. But they can all take special weapons, and they have a bunch of like unique rules. It's a Night Lord specific thing. Figured out. Good, good. They all have plasma something or Volkite. Yeah, I think it's Volkite is their big thing. Yeah, I don't know what they do. Sakaran Punisher. Yeah, the Sakaran Punisher has the big Gatling cannon, right? Insane, like, anti-infantry gun. That's cool. It's sad that isn't available in plastic yet, because that's a popular tank. That and the Sakaran Omega, I think is what it's called, is the plasma variant. It's silhouette's down. Yeah, because it's got like the big gun off the side of it and everything. 18 shots that pin. Yeah, Night Lords do love pinning. Yeah, pinning is pinning's a morale check, and Night Lords are really good at causing fear, which is subtracts from your morale checks. So. Yeah, I have an STL for the Punisher turret, for all the different turret variants of the Sakaran. I've never printed them, but there's some people in my local group that have. They seem to look really good. Those two can probably put 2 of those tanks on a single build plate. Have them all printed really quick. Alright. First, it's the outer wheels on the first one are done. This next one. Yeah, Night Lords are cool. Seen the movie? Oh, hold on. What? Stuff that I heard that was simpler, but was just as competitive. No 5-unit aggressor without heavy weapon, autocannon. Troy, are you talking about newer 40k being simpler? And what movie are you talking about? Fire Predator with his extras on build plate? Okay, yeah, Sakara's a little bigger. Yeah, that's fair. I think I have a Predator down to 3 build plates. For the third one, I can end up just putting all the weapons on there because it's not much. Gotta be careful about loading my my printer up too much. I used to be all about just like filling up the build plate 100% if I could, but it's not good. It's bad for suction. Let's try the pigments or enamels. I use pigments occasionally. Enamels, no, I don't mess with enamels. If you have questions about pigments or enamels, we do have a dude present who paints a lot with both of those. That would be Mr. Go Sucked, right above you. Honestly, I feel like he's always just trying to find a way to bring up pigments and enamels in the conversation anyway, so. Hey, Omega Daz, welcome back. How are you doing? Thanks for announcing my name right. You're welcome. Any chance I get, man, it's great. The best use of AI tools. Yeah, like Zen and the Molotov. Yeah, the chrome markers. I didn't watch the video. I know it was like 100% clickbait, but I rolled my eyes so hard at this video. They made a video about the announcement of the Gundam, like, skirmish miniature game or whatever. And they're like, this is the Warhammer killer. And I was like, whoa, okay. Alright. Whatever. Like, either this person has no idea what's going on in the world, or they are the most like clickbait farming YouTuber. Dude, please, yeah. Like I said, I rolled my eyes so hard at that. I was like, I'm not giving this the dignity of a watch. I want to watch it and make fun of it, but it's not worth it. I don't want to give it the attention, so I'm just going to talk about it to 30 people at once. Might be popular in Japan. Yeah. Pale sand equivalent for... Yeah, because, you know, I just talk about pale sand so much, guys. I get harassed with pale sand. That's what happens. Harassment. Yep. Yep. That's it. 7837. We're gonna be Warhammer. Yeah. Yeah, they'll do that, Zen. Yeah. It's I'm gonna be real honest. I've been in this hobby for a long time. Um I have followed release after release, new game after new game. I feel like you can kind of see when a game is gonna be like popular or not. And even from those like first promo videos and like photos and stuff of the Gundam game, I don't think it's going to be as popular as people want it to be. Um, I want it to work because I think a Gundam game could be cool. It looks like they're just trying to capitalize on BattleTech's popularity, and it's going to have a very BattleTech vibe. But like it's, yeah, that's not a game that's going to appeal to Warhammer players at all. Like that is not a game that's going to get a Warhammer player to be like, man, I would collect Warhammer, but this Gundam game just looks like so much fun. Like it's 100% a cash grab from Gundam fans who also happen to like play like some tabletop games. I mean, he's like, okay. Yeah, Gundam aesthetic isn't my favorite thing, so Zen, you're probably a better judge on what looks good for that game than I am. It's cool to have some like actual like paint your own minis. Show the outfits. Oh, cool. All right, let's go look at the outfits. Oh, nice. The yellow bike and the orange clothes looks great. Yeah, all the HQs, the whole crew together. 2/3 of your army. Very nice, Omega Daz. Looks great. Yeah, just having something to paint. And I think that's probably where they're going with it. Check. Yeah, isn't there like a similarity between Robotech and Battletech? I thought they were like the same thing or something. Robotech had a miniatures game. You may remember that Kickstarter? When that Kickstarter happened for Robotech, it was the largest Kickstarter that had ever happened. Yeah, this is the Hecaton Landforge. I just have really large hands. That's why it looks so small. Yep. That's right. You guys heard it here first. Not a phrase I thought I would ever say, but here we go. Yeah, it was a huge failure. Yeah, the Robotech game was a huge failure. It did look great, though. I'll be honest. Even I thought that game looked really good. Yeah, that game made either over $1 million or almost $2 million or something. It was a huge Kickstarter. Again, it was the biggest Kickstarter in the website's history when it happened. And it just completely bombed. Yeah, I liked the idea of converting your mechs into jets. I thought that was really cool, and they like did that in the game and everything. That was Robotech, right? They also had like tanks and stuff, so you didn't have to buy mechs. Just look cool. Oh, man, people put hundreds of dollars into that. Hog first wave went great, and they ran a licensing issue. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. That reminds me of the Alien versus Predator miniature game. There was an AVP board game that came out, and they came out with tons and tons of minis for it. All these variants of the aliens and predators, and these amazing looking minis. And they had a board game, and they kept saying their intent was they're going to make the board game, and they're going to release these things, and they're going to make rules for an actual miniatures game, and you can play as the aliens, the predators, like the xenomorphs, the predators, or humans, like marines, and that's how the game will work. And everybody's like, sign me up for that. It's amazing. Well, Fox apparently hated that idea and ended up just killing the game altogether. And they had maybe 40, 50 SKUs of different minis, and they were forced to kill the game and stop selling everything. Yeah, that's the Predator minis I have, Zen. That's what that was for. Yeah, they showed off like boards they made with you would play as like 4 or 5 predators in your army, and you would fight off like 100 xenomorphs. Like that was the miniature game. And like squads of marines and stuff, and the predators could stealth, and there was all these cool things. I remember they showed off like a diorama kind of thing they made where they had a temple, and it was like a scene out of the AVP movie where they had the temple, and they had like three predators at the top, or Votann or whatever they're called, and they were just being swarmed by like 1,000 xenomorphs, like running up the temple stairs and everything. It was really cool. Quest reboot. Hasbro obliterated them based their success. They saw they did their own release. Yeah, that sounds like a Hasbro thing, doesn't it? What's another good one? There was a company. Oh, what was this company called? I can't remember what this company's called. They make Batman miniatures now for like an Arkham game. But they used to make Star Wars minis. They had the most incredible looking Star Wars miniatures that they would make. And they were like 32, 35 millimeter scale. They were all metal, incredibly detailed minis. And I always wanted some. And then when like Star Wars X-Wing came out, like Star Wars miniature games started coming out, they forced that company to stop selling them. They had a licensing deal, and they had to drop it. Yeah, Night Models. That's it, Yoshi. This is the old timer knows. We got our we know our stuff. Night Models Star Wars minis were so good looking. Like it was my dream just to own. Like they had like one that was like the Jedi Council, and like you could get like Mace Windu and Coyote Mundi and Yoda and Obi-Wan and all these like minis, and they're just really, really good sculpts, just high quality minis. Yeah, they did some Marvel stuff too, didn't they? Yeah. Their DC stuff, I remember some of their DC stuff, but they were doing like it was like a Arkham game, like a Batman game. is Wednesday at noon. Tornado sirens are testing. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they did have a Harry Potter game, too. Yeah. It's unfortunate. They made great minis. Yeah, the best sculpts. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I don't know who their sculptor was, but incredible work from them. The Harry Potter ones were made at best? Okay. I think I was kind of done following them by the time the Harry Potter stuff was coming out. I remember seeing it, but I've never been as much of a Harry Potter fan, so it didn't really, like, strike my interest. It's horrible, guys. Sculpts are fine. You can't go wrong with the robes, but the quality. Okay. Huh. Like a lot of defects and stuff in the minis, or what? Okay. You're done. With the tires. Cool. Pretty much always broken. Mold lines in the worst spots. About one box immediately killed the game for us. Really? Okay. Okay. Good to know. Don't feel as bad. You're back, guys. Okay, more black. A lot more minis now. Okay. Looking at now are all these bars here on the roll cage. I'm assuming this is a roll cage. So has anything else about the Guard Codex leaked, or is it just the article that we've seen? Been like a big Codex leak or anything? On Saturday, I'm sure we'll know the whole thing. Because that's when people, all the content creators, get their stuff and start going through it. Shorter in the viewport. Yeah, it is. Yeah, the roll cage won't stop whoever's up there getting crushed. Great. Good old 40k logic. Marked. These front roll cages. Mentioned despoilers, horse heresy. Assault troops. Yeah. Despoilers are they're troop infantry. They're assault marines without jump packs. That's all they are. They're called despoilers. They're not unique to any legion or anything. They're just chainsword, bolt pistol wielding assault marines that have regular backpacks, not jump packs. Metallica looks like a moon buggy. It already looks like a moon buggy, doesn't it, Frank? Yeah. I got to see the lunar rover, was the first one, in person and talked to one of the engineers who built it, which is really cool. I did that this past summer at the NASA Space Center in Huntsville, Alabama. And it's really funny. He was talking about the wheels or the tires for the lunar rover. They knew they couldn't use rubber because they weren't sure how the pressure. No, get out of here. Get out of here, Zen. But they couldn't use rubber for the tires, so they made the tires out of piano wire.
Thank you for allowing me back into your home.
That was what they used for the tires of the lunar rover. Hey, it's that Hecaton? Is that how you pronounce your name? Please tell me it is, because that'd be so appropriate. Probably like Hacktan, but welcome. Welcome in. How are you doing today? Thank you for the follow. Alright. We got the roll bars on this dude. Let's move you. Yeah, they're mesh. Yeah, it's mesh made from piano wire. It's crazy. Yeah, what they do at the NASA Space Center is they just have the scientists and engineers that work there and are retired. They just walk around the museum and just they just tell you about stuff and answer questions. And we talked to one guy who built his whole career was building the Stage 1 rocket for the Saturn V, which is the big one. The Saturn V is the big one that got people to the moon and stuff. So his whole career, he built the Stage 1 rockets. What are good weapons like Contemptor? Anything. Generally, if you want to run really good with a Contemptor, you do either 2 guns or 2 fists. However, the most common way people run them is with one gun and one fist. Um, so you take one fist. I like, people have their different preferences. There's a ton of different ways to run them. I really like the Gravis Melta cannon, or Gravis Melta gun thing. I don't remember the exact name of it, because it's two shots. It's twin linked, which is nice. It gives you rerolls to hit. And Melta guns are just insane. Like, you're gonna blow up tanks really easy. And then I like to put a Melta gun in the hand of the fist. So that is my personal favorite way. But like, las cannons are always really good. Las cannons are always good in the game. So like, they're never gonna be bad. A bad choice. Plasma cannons are really nice, because a plasma cannon on Dreadnought is a large blast. It's a big 5-inch blast, which is really nasty. Kill a bunch of infantry doing that. For like, if you're going double gun, auto cannons, heavy bolters, las cannons, all those are really good. Like, stuff with range on them. Heavy bolters are like deceptively good, like the Gravis bolters. You throw out a ton of shots, and even if like heavy bolters aren't the best at getting through armor, they just force a ton of armor saves. Volkite's really nice too. Volkite's similar to heavy bolter, just a little more effective at it and a little more expensive. Yeah, you can't really go wrong with Dreadnoughts in general. Contemptor Cortis class. Yeah, I don't know what a Cortis class is, so it must be a Night Lord specific one. I know Night Lords have their own Contemptor. It might be a Legacies thing, also on New Recruit, which is fine. People play Legacies in Heresy. There's no issues with that. So.
First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you
Hey,
for
Jay
allowing me back
Thunder,
into your
thank you
home.
for the follow. How are you doing today? Yeah, you might be in Heresy 1. That's true. Make sure the Heresy you have open is Horus Heresy 2022. Not the, like, 2018 or 2019 or something they have on there. It's got to be the 2022 one. All this work, he's been building this list for the past 45 minutes, and it's been Heresy 1. Under volunteer stuff, I like glow effects. Orange glow looks cool. Yeah. You had the original. Oh, lame. Oh, Volkite. Yeah, Volkite. Volkite is super cool. Good old tech that just dies out. Autocorrect is strong. That's alright. That's alright. I got what you were saying the second time, at least. Yeah, fun fact, Zen. The reason there is a second edition of Heresy isn't really just because like GW wanted to make new rules for it. It's because the guy that wrote all the rules for Heresy, like everything, he made the black books that were like super popular and like all this stuff. He died. He died unexpectedly. Garo's an HQ option because you're currently chosen as a loyalist, not as a traitor legion. That's why you have to go change your like alignment or whatever it is. Yep. Yep, I've had that struggle a lot. So, let's see here. All right. Next. So we got the roll cage stuff. Let's put some more black paint down. Bolters. Okay, little bolter casings. Emptor Gravis Las Cannon, Power Fist, and build Melta Cannon. Yeah. Yeah. It's a good one. And you can kind of run them up and get new engagement. Or can hang back. He's got a lot of range on there. The 10th edition dumbed it down. Yeah, it did. No, that's cool, man. That's one of the things about the plastic heresy stuff that's really nice, though, is that you can magnetize so much. So when you have options, it's not like it feels bad if you try out a gun or something you don't like it. Okay. Next gun. I can keep this in frame. These are what weapons I should bring. Yeah. Well, what we should do, Zen, go through the units. Like I said, that's why it's better to go on the GW website and just look up the models, because you can at least get like a basic idea of what they have. But basically, pick out all the units you want and then leave like 200 or 300 points for upgrades and stuff. We can go through and figure out your different upgrades. Atramentar. Yeah, Atramentar are cool. They're good as like a bodyguard unit, I think. They have like the Volkite pistols. Volkite Cavatars or something. Hey Journeyman, how you doing? Yeah, Night Raptors are Warp Talons, yep. How goes the stream? The stream's going well. I see some Voltron, yeah, some Votann, yeah. Painting 2 Hecaton land fortresses. Just finished 2 Einherjar champions. I might end the stream a little early today. My voice is so tired right now. So, I had a cold all last week. Haven't talked that much. I streamed yesterday for about 2 hours. But yeah, streaming for 3 today. That's enough. Oops. Laying down some base colors. Hoping to get the majority of these minis finished tomorrow on stream. See though. It's supposed to be so cold tomorrow. And like Friday. It'd be really funny if Painting Sun doesn't have school because of the weather again. Alright. Next. We're gonna get the canopies. We don't have to be super neat with this. Work from home until Friday. Should be a fun drive to work then. Yeah, yeah. Hopefully it's all the roads are cleared up and everything. At least. I think we're supposed to get some snow. I don't know if we're supposed to get a lot of snow, but Monday through Friday, Monday and Friday. Yeah, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. That works for me if you're able to got time to hang out or whatever. You also get nice kind of like a 4-day weekend, right? In a way. Nice. Can use Monday to reset. Yeah, it's true. Can't hang well, there's the door, baby. Yep. I don't care if you have a job. Too bad. The windshields aren't going to be silver. That's why I'm not caring too much if I paint the windshields. That's fine. I don't know what this maybe at some point popular song was, so I did say that. Yeah, I think I said those exact words, actually. He told me he can pick his work from home days, and I was like, well, what days you picking, man? I gotta know. Sleeping with Sirens if you can't. Okay. Heard the song. Or not familiar with the song. I don't know if I ever heard it or not, but. Okay. Let's put windshields on there. Let's get the windshields on here. How far are you into the Votann? So this is a commission I'm painting. And I have done many stages to this commission. The current one, I have 2 Einherjar champions that I basically just finished this morning. I just have to paint their bases. And I started on these hecatons today, so. But that's it for this commission. I'm sure there will be more for these Votann later, when these are done. But at the moment, this stage, just these 4 minis. think after stream today, I'm gonna do some airbrushing. I'll varnish all those riders that I painted, all that cav. I'm gonna spend some time in silence. The peace that I have desired for weeks now. Finally in my grasp. Yeah, it's Star Laser. Yes, this is the same commission with the 9 bikers. Yep. No, it was 18 bikers. It wasn't 9, it was the full 18. Oh yeah, sure. Be free. Yeah. It's the noise. Painting Sun's been super cool, especially past couple days. I did. I cried a couple times. I may or may not have cried on stream, and the person who gave me the commission felt bad. So I did learn that day. If you want to get extra tips, just cry on stream. So it really does work. In the first 9 I made, I may or may not have built it all together instead of sub. Oh, I did the same. Yeah, no, I did the same. I'm like, I'm not painting these as sub-assemblies. It's gonna take extra time. I made so many mistakes. The worst thing I did, and I didn't really have a choice for this, but I guess I did, but I had forgotten that this gentleman paints his own bases. I don't paint the bases for him. So when I assembled these minis, I glued them to their base, and anyone who has dealt with these Hernkin Pioneer minis knows that these minis do not stay on their base. It's one tiny connection point. It's a heavy mini. So they just started breaking. I would touch my brush to them, and they were just falling off their bases. They were just breaking. It's like, I got an idea. I'm going to pin these minis into their base. I'm going to pin them in the base. So I stuck a pin all the way through from the bottom of their bike, like the one hover thing that's like down close to the rock, through the rock and through the base. I pinned them in the base. Well, as I'm finishing the commission, I realized, oh no, I need to get these minis off the base because these are my bases. Like, these aren't even the right bases they're supposed to be on. Like, he didn't send me the bases. I put them on temporary bases. I pinned them to the freaking temporary bases. They held, but they're pinned to the bases. So I had to spend a very sketchy evening getting these pinned minis out of the bases. Yeah, and there were a couple. I had to cut the base off them. I didn't freeze them. No, because I'm stupid. That's why. Was this before? No, this was after I figured out the freezing. No, I didn't even think about that. I think I was a little nervous maybe at the time of like it messing with the paint. Yeah, I think it was like a paint issue, is what I'm gonna say. Oh, these little guns. Fine. These little guns. There's some black casing on them. I'm not jealous. No, don't be. That was a nightmare. But for example, this is one of the guys we finished up this morning. So, and here, champion. They are tournament legal, yeah. I don't know if I could do it, man. I don't know if I could paint. Yeah, Zen, didn't Crucial Blue post that in his Discord? The thing about misprint telling you what card's coming next? Yeah. I haven't tried it out. I haven't played anything in a few days. So I played my Star Wars mod. That's all I want to play, but it's probably where you saw it. Yeah. That's crazy, though. I'm curious if it's how useful it is. I mean, it's not like it's always useful to know what card's coming next, but yep, just coal black. All I'm using here was that Vallejo metal color silver for an airbrush. No, I think I'm gonna jump off at 1. My voice is wrecked right now, guys. I'm gonna try for 4 hours tomorrow. Got to see on. Yeah, yeah. Oh, but I'm feeling better today. Like I said, just got some mucus going on, but not the end of the world. Just complaining at this point. Just man, my voice is tired. I was glad I remembered that dream to tell you guys. And I just want you to know I'm disappointed in all of you. Well, I think this back casing piece here, I think we're gonna paint this black. Yeah, yeah. It's messing with me. It's seriously messing with me. Like, I don't want my son to be a streamer. Yeah, I think that's part of it. I think it's part of it. What camera and light you're using? It looks so crisp. Oh, thank you. I am using a...
First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your
A Lumix GX85 is my camera. Thank you for the follow, by the way, Stompy. Or Stomp Pie. And my light is a newer... it's an overhead. It's an RGB light with the diffuser on it. It's a little bit of a pricey light that I have hanging right over my desk. I got a frame hanging on my desk and everything. If I move too much, shake. Man, the shake isn't bad though. I lowered my frame a good like 8 inches or so, and it reduced almost all the shaking that this light creates. So I have my camera hanging from my frame now too, which just gives me so much more space in this room. Working on your Vespids, nice, nice. Yeah, the camera and lighting are relatively recent purchase. I am always complaining about my own lighting and camera work and stuff, but I'm trying to improve it. The Vespids are cool. Vespids are really cool. Hop on, jump in the meeting. All right, enjoy the meeting, dude. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. We'll start. Well, hey, yeah, send me a list or send me a message on what you want to do about Night Lord stuff, and we can figure it out. I don't feel like talking, but I'd happily message them on Discord. Cool. Oh man. So you guys, I tried. I assembled some minis. I don't think I showed off a lot of these minis. But I assembled a Contemptor Dreadnought.
First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing
Hey,
me back into your home.
PNG.jpg, thank you for the follow. And I tried a new red. I tried Blood Angels Red as a contrast through the airbrush over a light silver to see if it would give me something similar to my clear reds, and I think I have to change things. I don't think it worked, but this was my result. But if you ignore the red, it's dull. I think I can brighten that up. I don't know if I'm going to. I think I'm going to cover this and start over. But look at this Dreadnought, guys. The 3D printed pieces on it. I am super proud of how these prints turned out for this guy. Like, man, he is like Thousand Sun through and through, but like not like too over the top. It looks like the classic Forge World one. Really happy with him. Yeah. His arms are magnetized, so that's why he's got no weapons on his arms. This is from the upgrade kit. Is from a guy called Archangel Mark 5, I think is his name. He does Thousand Suns bits, but this is specifically made for the Contemptor Dread. This whole front piece was one piece, like everything but the head here, so just like slotted in. But cool prints. I was really happy with it. I don't like the color; it's way too dark. I also assembled and primed a command squad. It's my first Mark III Thousand Suns couple here. This is the banner guy. So I have a couple printed pieces here. I really like this giant banner. Put a big transfer on it. But I printed Mark III shoulder pads. He got a whole new chest piece. That is like a Thousand Suns Mark III chest piece, and it has a little psychic hood on it. It's really cool. The piece came with that. Unique helmet. And then his sword has fire with eyeballs in it. So, with the Loyalist emblem, yeah. So this one works for me. I think this is one of the Loyalist emblems as well, maybe. It has a blank spot for a transfer, and these wings remind me a lot of like the Scarab wings. Like that's how the iconography kind of works for Thousand Suns. But yeah, and he's got a little 15th shoulder. I gave him some scrolls. Yeah, there's some great icon. This is an amazing set. This command set, incredible. I kind of wish I could have used more pieces from this set, but I ended up like kind of going ham on printing like cool pieces and stuff to add to these minis. But that was that. This is a cool Thousand Suns sword that's on fire. I was really happy with that. I had to do a dude. I had to give him the shields. I'm gonna use them as breacher shields, like the 5-up invuln. But shoulders, he got a really cool head with a crest on it. This was a printed head, and I gave him a power fist. He also got some fancy fancy scrolls on them. Heat symbol, and it's got a 15 in there. Oh yeah, I play 30k. Yeah, yeah. I have about 10,000 points of Painted Thousand Suns for 30k. Plus Auxilia and Militia. This is another guy here. Printed a book. He's got a book hanging from the back there. He's got the shield. He's got this unique Thousand Suns sword. And a unique helmet with his little crest there. Little tuning fork on his head. I have another guy with a sword. It's 30k to make Fallen Dark Angels. Yeah, yeah. That's a great way to do it. That's all Dark Angels are heretics anyway, so. Another one of these swords, because I really like these swords, I wanted to use them. So, we got these swords again. Unique shoulder pads, head, and sword. And then the last one here, I really like this mini. He's got a book hanging from his chest. He's got a unique head. And this is his weapon. It's like a punch dagger. How cool is that? Yeah, there's a bunch of 3D printed bits on these guys. For this guy, his hand and weapon, his two shoulders, his head, and the book are all printed. And, yeah, resin printer. I have an Elegoo Mars Pro 3. Mars 3 Pro. Whatever, the Mars 3 and the Pro version. This guy, I printed his chest piece. And I had to cut up and use some green stuff to attach to the legs. But the chest piece has like the psychic hood. He's got a new helmet. He's got shoulders. This arm, I think it was the whole arm minus the bracer. I ended up putting the plastic bracer over him. Yeah, and his shoulders, and he's got some scrolls and stuff hanging down there. Yeah, I do not like this red. So I will be probably, I have enough red probably for my AK clear reds to cover all these minis, but that's what I'll be using. But yeah, 3D printed parts on this guy. Good use of 3D printer. I was very proud of that. I love the Command Squad set. I'm excited to paint some Mark III. I have a lot of Mark IV and Mark VI in my army. But yeah, having some unique like Mark III minis is going to be great. Getting some cool transfers on the shields and everything. Dang, get the big one. Okay, nice, nice. I'm happy with my little printer. It would be nice to print, you know, like a big tank and, you know, and less prints, but I think it keeps me humble, you know, so I'm not just printing everything all the time. And I also kind of like limited space for the printers, so it works out well for me. But yeah, it's awesome. Awesome you can get a new printer. I would like a filament printer eventually, but again, space and I don't have time for more hobbies. Yeah, my militia Thayan. This is an example of a militiaman. It's my Imperialis militia. This is my Prospering militia here. I have over 100 minis painted for these. And I have, this is my little container. That's another 30 of them. There's the next 30. That's gonna be assembled and painted. I got a mortar squad in there. And then just random extra bits, mostly like cavalry bits and extra heads and stuff. Yeah, I have 112 infantry painted at this point. So I'm getting my next 30. I'm going to paint 30 more before the end of January. And I just finished painting last night 10 cav. So these are the cav I painted real quick. These are very much like a speed paint scheme. Like I timed myself. Painted them super quick, about 10 minutes a mini for the infantry. These guys were a little longer, but yeah. And they work. Alright, you guys. I'm going to call the stream there. I am happy, and if you want to chill tomorrow and stream and talk about heresy stuff, I would love to talk about heresy. I can show off some finished Thousand Suns minis, and yeah. Love to. Yeah, these minis are from Quartermaster 3D. It's the creator. They're the Trench Devils with the desert heads on them. That's what these are. Yeah, Heresy Thursday. Tomorrow we go. Yeah, let's see if we get something good. But you guys have a wonderful day. Have a great Wednesday, everybody. And I am hoping to see you all tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. And I hope we'll have some good stuff to chat about. Hope my voice will do a little better. I'm going to try to rest a bit. And, yeah, I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Bye, everybody.